Welcome back to the Krabby Club podcast. I'm your host, Random Victory, and today we're actually talking about, our topic is mobile gaming really gaming? Now, I do have a few points, and no, we're not talking about Raid Shadow Legends. That thing's trash, and it's not really console gaming. I wouldn't, I don't care how the graphics look, because, okay, before we continue, let me say that I need topics to talk about, and I'm not really organized when it comes to it. So please let me know what kind of topics you want to talk about, because if not, I'm just gonna start reviewing really bad things, and yeah, that's not gonna end up well. So, all right. So even though Raid Shadow Legends is supposedly a console game, graphics, whatever, I don't really care. It still has aspects for mobile gaming that really wouldn't transfer really well, and I don't enjoy it. It's boring. And I personally prefer pixelated games. Pixel is kind of like, let's say, nowadays, people usually look at graphics. Oh, these graphics are amazing, but that pixelated game over there is just not in day and age graphics. But I don't really care if it is or not. If the game is good, then it's good. I really don't care how it looks like, if it has to be 3D or drawn or whatever graphics you consider 2020 graphics, because some pixelated games that come out are really, really good, and I recommend you go check them out, even though some of you probably won't. So I consider gaming different, because anyone who started with the original gaming craze is it's different now than it was back then, because now you can actually play games on your phone. I mean, you won't be playing. Well, wasn't Skyrim on here? I don't remember if I'm out of touch. I usually don't play a lot of mobile games other than a lot of pixelated games, because there's Mario Kart, there's Animal Crossing, there's other stuff on mobile, and these games were built for the people that don't have the money to buy a console or don't have the time to play a console. So they built this so they could be easier access for people to actually play. And yeah, it's a good idea, but when you start charging people, then that's not a very good idea. Usually I don't if a game, if I really enjoy the game, then I'll continue playing it. But if I delete your game after, let's say, after the end of the day, then it means your game isn't really good. Or during the week, if I delete it after 1 week of playing, then that just means it got boring, repetitive, and it's nothing good. So I personally say some games can transfer well. I personally think Mario Kart, the mobile one, is not as fun as. Of course, it's not gonna be as fun as the one on on the Switch, GameCube, and all the other systems. Of course, it's not. It's different. It's supposed to be different, and that's the thing. If you look at games that if you look at the games that were originally on console and then came over to mobile, then they usually don't fit well. Some of them really do, because it's easy to implement that into the game. So some of them are done really well. Mostly strategy games like Fire Emblem. Even though I lost my account, so I can't really play, and I lost my swimsuit characters. Yeah, that was a horrible day, even after I pulled 3 of them. Okay, so, but then there's games that were built for the mobile market and actually do really well, and then they're transferred to console sometimes. So, like Puzzles and Dragons, mobile. Then it came to 3DS. Yeah, 3DS. I've never played it, but it's not like it has like action RPG things. It's just a it's dual gameplay, and I think there's a different way to making all this. What can I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Okay, let's just say console gaming plays completely different, of course. Being that you have a controller, you have a large screen, you're playing with others. Mobile games, you really don't do that. You play with online people, but usually you don't have the large interaction. Frick. Also, you don't have to pay for like online services, being that it uses your internet provider. So that's even better. PSN, Xbox Live, and at least Switch is the cheapest one. I mean, 20 a year. I mean, like, that's a steal. I mean, if you're making a lot out of your Switch in games, I guess $20 is nothing big. But if you're charging $60 for a year, then there's an issue there. Like, if someone would say, okay, our next service is $10, I would be like, whoa. I would totally get back into PSN, but not right now. Usually for my PlayStation, I only collect single player games. If they're multiplayer, I'll do it, but usually I won't. Multiplayer games, I usually keep them for my PC because I don't have to pay for some stupid internet provider. That's why I'm still... Actually, forget this topic. Okay, let's end the topic because I just came up with something. An idea. Like, why hasn't it come out yet? So, let's end this topic, and I hope you guys like the next topic because I recently got into the game and I really enjoyed it. So, mobile gaming is fun, different, and they get a lot of shame for it. But a lot of people don't have time for consoles, That it's easy to just download the game, see if it's fun, and test it out. After all, card games do really well on here. I would say if Pokemon could fix their whole it's only usable for iPads kind of memento for their online TCG, then I think they would do even better. Of course, it's a larger screen. They just have to modify it, I think it would do amazingly well if they did. Because I always try to play it on my mobile phone and not working. So I usually play like Shadowverse, Hearthstone, not my appeal. I played Lynx before, but I completely forgot. Played other games. Also, Shin Megami Tensei, I played it. There was a tutorial every time I did something, so I literally got annoyed and just left the game. If there's still a tutorial after the main tutorial, then that's not a game. It's a tutorial simulator. And I didn't enjoy it, So, and then when you make a free roaming game on mobile, it doesn't work because sometimes the joysticks and stuff don't function as well. So usually when companies add the controller function where you can use an external controller, then it does pretty well. I mean, Terraria recently added that. I read it on their Twitter, I think. Yeah, they recently added that to the mobile game with the newest update-ish. Yeah. And I think I own Terraria on every console so far. Well, the ones that have it. Except for... I haven't been able to find a copy for the Xbox 360 yet. So I have it for my 3DS. I have it for PS4. I have it for my PC. I can't get it for GameCube, but that would be pretty freaking fun if they did. They're like, well, let's release it for GameCube. Like, almost 20 years later. I would totally buy the game. I'm not gonna lie. Being on GameCube would be pretty freaking fun. So, and then on mobile. I don't have it on mobile because I didn't like the whole using my finger aspect. But now that they have the controller function, I have a controller, then I'll probably will play it and actually buy it this time. Did I actually buy it? No, I haven't bought it yet. And yeah, some games transfer really well, are really fun, and are enjoyable. King of Thieves was an enjoyable game. Crusader's Quest, if you like pixels, pixelate games, they're it's a really fun and amazing game. I recommend you play it. Has lot of fun aspects. But if you don't, there's 8-Bit Hero. That was early access. I played it early access on the mobile app. Grand Summoners. I think there's one like Workermon. I played that a lot, but then I had to reset my phone because it started glitching. There's a lot of games out there. And then there's console gaming. Well, then they work really well. They're because they have the aspect of building it for consoles in the first place. They're not thinking, "Oh, let's transfer it to mobile later." No, they're not thinking that. They're thinking, "Okay, how can we distribute this through the consoles and still have as much fun as possible?" And they're done really well. But then when you release a Mario Kart example, and then you release it on mobile, using your finger isn't as fun as everything else. Like my favorite is Double Dash. I've owned 2 copies, even though one of them is broken. So you enjoy the feeling of having everyone in the same room and just racing the battles, and it's really fun time. But on mobile, it's not as fun. Like, and then you have the item aspect. So the moment they're about to win, you just shoot the red shell and hit them and just take first place from them. That's amazing. In this one, I guess you can feel that, but I like the controller feeling. I hate using my finger for it. So that's my thoughts on mobile and console gaming. They're both perfectly well, but I prefer if a game is built for mobile and you play for it, of course. If the game is built for mobile, then it does really well. I really enjoy it. I'm still playing Grand Summoners. The one other game I played this long was Monster Strike, and sadly, the US server was shut down. So, rest in peace, my bros. I miss my Awakened Nobunaga and Nobunaga X or whatever it was. I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun game, and I never got to use the new features by then. So, and then console gaming, I love it. I love my GameCube. And then handhelds is a completely different thing, because we got a Switch now, and it's different, and that's different. So, I'm not getting into that part. But, yeah, I mean, I still enjoy my GameCube, my PS4, my 360. They have amazing games, and they're done really well. So, they both have pros and cons for their games. So, I think that's it for now, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hey, if you enjoy it, stay tuned, because if you're a fan of PSO2, then I'm going to put my thoughts into why they haven't released the freaking game yet. And that is all for now. Thank you all for listening, and until next time.